Claims that the primary process was rigged for Hillary Clinton from one of the candidates who ran against Hillary Clinton. We're talking about Lincoln Chafee.
It's been a year since the election, and the Clinton people just haven't looked in the mirror over the course of this year. They've been blaming the Russians and everybody else, blaming Senator Sanders. They've got to look in the mirror and say, how could we, as the Clinton campaign, lose to a seemingly unelectable man? 3 cheers for Donna Brazile. I like a truth teller. I just thought the fix was in right all the way through.
So was the fix really in for Hillary? Here to debate, we've got former 2017 candidate for DNC chair and advisor for Hillary Clinton's 2008 presidential campaign, Jammu Green, screen left, and National Justice Director for the 2016 Bernie Sanders presidential campaign, Teslin Figueroa. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Teslin, let's start with you. What do you make of Lincoln Chafee coming out and saying, I love the fact that Donna Brazile is telling everybody that it was rigged against Bernie?
I mean, I love it. I love it and can't get more of it. You know, it's very interesting to have Jammu here on the panel with me, because I was disappointed to see how she did all that work for Hillary Clinton, and yet Hillary Clinton was nowhere to be found when it was time for her to stomp for DNC. She probably doesn't remember me, but I tweeted her constantly asking, where is Hillary? So it's more of the same. You know, what Donna Brazile talks about that as well in her book, how she felt like she was treated like a slave and how the system was rigged and how they use us for opportunities that best suit them. But then when it's time for them to come and actually support people like Jammu, where are they to be found? So I'm just excited that more people are having the courage to say, yes, it was indeed rigged, because they choose who they want. And then once they choose their choice, they push that person.
Jammu?
Well, Donna Brazile is definitely a truth teller. Truth tellers also can get it wrong every now and then. And just to start, Lincoln who? I look at his remarks, and it's astounding how, whether it's him and the other men who happen to be white, who were beaten by millions of votes by this woman, just can't seem to grapple with the fact that a woman beat them fair and square. The election was not rigged. There is a narrative that people want to enforce to, one, rewrite history. Understanding that the DNC has no power over one single vote in a primary or in a caucus is something that's very important here. It's very important to understand that the DNC as an entity is not this boogeyman. It doesn't even have the power to be a boogeyman because it's that weak.
Don't look into the light, Caroline. It's okay. They did you the same way, Jammu. You know it's rigged. You know they pick and choose who they want. They did you the same way. They didn't support you after you. Where was Hillary Clinton when you were running? Where was Hillary Clinton when you were running for DNC and they chose Tom Perez over you? Where was Hillary? You stomped and stomped for Hillary. Where was you? I mean, let's ask Jammu. How did it feel to not have Hillary Clinton the same way you were fighting for it, not fight for you?
Let her answer.
Look, I'm very sure that Hillary Clinton, during the time of the DNC chair race, was still processing the fact that she had lost the election.
And she wasn't anywhere to be found.
That's okay.
No support.
One at a time.
And it's okay, sis.
If you want to do a diatribe, I'll let you.
Teslin, hold on just a second. Jammu, finish your point.
My point is that the DNC has no power to rig the primary election, and this narrative is in line with trying to rewrite history against the first woman to get a nomination by a major party. And this is not the first. This is what women in history have faced for for our life. And if we don't push back and condemn every single attempt, did this happen to John Kerry? Did this happen to Walter Mondale? Did this happen to Dukakis? No. What is the difference here? These men coming out and saying, "Oh, it was rigged." You know what? She won by 4 million votes, and I'm not going to allow those votes to be denied.
The difference is that superdelegates rigged the process just like they rigged it against you when you went to go be the. Yes, it is. It's true. You know it is. People are told what to do, just like you were told to go support Perez once it was all over. And it's sad because it is so sad because we are continuing to stay in this domestic violence relationship. You as a black woman did not get the support from Hillary Clinton, from the base, the black woman base that supports this Democrat Party. The Democrat Party has yet to elect a black governor in the state, and you didn't get the support. They threw you under the bus and chose
There's
Perez.
a lot,
you know it's
there's a
rigged. You know
lot
how
of
it works.
work,
No,
Teslin.
we know how it works. And Jamu, I want you to love yourself more than you love Hillary Clinton.
I love
You are
myself.
fighting for
That is
your-
ridiculous.
No.
Stop.
Love yourself
Can
more
we
than
have
you
a
fight
real
for Hillary Clinton.
conversation here?
We
Teslin?
are having a real conversation.
Teslin?
If we're talking about
There
Chafee
are
and Clinton,
some
let's
real
talk about-
issues.
No,
There's some real
And the
issues
issue is
that the
when you
Democratic
were
Party
wanting to
needs to
run-
deal with
right, and
when
guess
it
what
comes
that
to
is-
Ladies.
sexism,
and guess what
when
that
it comes
issue
to
is.
classism,
They
All right,
do not
Jamu
support
Green
it.
and
They do
Teslin
not
Figueroa.
support- no, they do
Ladies,
not support
we've run out of
candidates.
time.
They
All right.
pick and choose just.
And she's going to keep talking. All right. She was making her point.
In Donna Brazile drops another nuke, this time on Michelle Obama. Last week, former DNC chair Donna Brazile revealed that Hillary Clinton rigged the 2016 Democratic presidential primaries against Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. Now she is speaking out once again, and this time she's talking about former First Lady Michelle Obama. The Washington Examiner reported that during an interview on Fox News on Wednesday night, Brazile told host Tucker Carlson that she should have channeled Michelle instead of telling her critics to go to hell earlier this week after she exposed Clinton. I want to channel another woman who I admire so much, and that is Michelle Obama, who said, "When they go low, you go high," Brazile told Fox News host Tucker Carlson on Wednesday night. And perhaps what I did on Sunday when I told some of my detractors to go to hell, as you well know, some of my conservatives know that I have always had a quick tongue. I've told people in the past what I really feel. I should have channeled Michelle and just go higher. She's sick. This woman is deranged. This comes after Brazile told ABC's this week on Sunday that her detractors in the Clinton campaign can go to hell. I'm going to tell my story, she said, when I'm supposed to be the only person who is unable to tell my story. Brazile also talked to Carlson about Clinton's failing health, describing what she remembered about Clinton's fainting on 9/11 anniversary before the 2016 election. So you have this scene in the book that's been much remarked upon. When Hillary's really sick, you say she's overworked and she's got a bronchial infection, maybe pneumonia, and she's so sick that you have this moment when you think maybe we need to replace her, maybe we won't be able to continue, and that's the point at which you said maybe the vice president would be a good replacement, Carlson began. That's such a big deal that it was striking when I read that. I thought, here there are thousands, 1,000 reporters covering this campaign, and not one of them picked up anything like that the candidate's health was that bad, that she was being considered maybe not able to finish. Do you think reporters knew that? How could they not know that? Well, let me just tell you, I had a lot of reporters that were calling my office, calling my home, texting me, sending me emails. Brazile responded. In fact, there was a reporter that I mentioned that broke the story to me that she had fainted, and I immediately called up to Brooklyn and I tried to reach people on the road with her to find out if this was a rumor, as you well know, with the Russian meddling in our campaign. And yes, it happened. There were so many rumors that you had to debunk, and so by the time I saw the video, when the video went viral, you can imagine what was happening within the Democratic Party, what was happening inside of the inner circles. Oh, I remember, and everything was fine. Everything's fine, Carlson interjected. Every 5 to 7 minutes, Hillary is a friend, Brazile added. I cared about her health. I cared about her campaign, but the last thing I wanted to know how she was doing. I wanted to know if she was okay. What a crock this Brazile character is, you know. She admires Michelle. Michelle is a disgrace to America, so what does that tell you about Brazile and the whole Democratic Party? I'd add Hillary, Michelle, Obama, and all the crap in the Democratic Party. When they go low, we go high. You's proved it to us how high you's went, you creatures. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.
The Washington Post story on Alabama Republican Roy Moore is based on a series of on-the-record interviews with Lee Kaufman, who says she was 14 when Moore, a 32-year-old prosecutor, befriended her and then sexually accosted her. Here's a Post reporter's description of what happened.
So the first time there was kissing, and then the second time he took off her clothes, he took off his own clothes.
I have not been guilty of sexual misconduct with anyone. These allegations came only 4.5 weeks before the general election on December 12th. Why now?
3 other women told the Post on the record that Moore pursued relationships with them when they were between 16 and 18, but that nothing was involved more than kissing. Joining us now to analyze the coverage, Molly Hemingway, senior editor at The Federalist and a Fox News contributor. Juan Williams, co-host of The Five. And Erin McPike, senior advisor to Media Group of America, owner of Independent Journal Review. Molly, let's take a look at this Washington Post story. 4 women who don't know each other, who didn't put this out. The reporters came to them. And Lee Kaufman, the woman who says she was 14 at the time, says she voted for Donald Trump. Does this sound like an orchestrated campaign against Moore?
I think this is, a very important and explosive story. The problem for discussing the quality of this news is that this is in a media environment where many other explosive stories about sexual assault that are well-sourced have fallen apart. It was less than 3 years ago when Sabrina R. Erdely wrote the cover story for Rolling Stone about a gang rape at UVA. Media praised her for this story. They praised the courage of everybody involved, and they sort of reflexively accepted this story, and it turned out that it was completely misreported. Yep. The fraternity that was maligned won $1.65 million. A dean who was maligned won $3 million.
Legally,
well,
at least.
It's not just it's not that, because there's a different standard on that. What I'm saying is people are used to stories about sexual assault not necessarily coming to be as credible as they are first presented. The UVA or the Duke lacrosse team was also accused of a gang rape. That story fell apart. The people who were accused were actually declared innocent. So there is a media environment where people are not necessarily going to accept whatever they hear from a media outlet just because they're told it's well-sourced.
Okay, but now also Lee Kaufman, again, this is the woman who says she was 14 at the time. The Washington Post talked to 2 friends that she told at the time she was dating an older man, talked to her mom, who was told a decade later. And in an interview on the radio with Sean Hannity, Roy Moore went through all this, said it was politically motivated and so forth. And then he said this.
Do you remember dating girls that young at that time?